Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm here on Saturday in the United States. If you are seeing this video, I just want to explain kind of my tone right now, which I hope, will not affect the message that, the message that Spirit wants to bring forward in our collective energy, and because I'm also in that collective. But I'm very, very upset at the highest court in the land of the United States. This is they gutted the Voting Rights Act of 1965 9 years ago, and yesterday they gutted the constitutional right of a woman to have ownership over her body in regards to whether or not that woman can get an abortion. So, I say this really because my videos have very low views, which is honestly, it's fine with me because that kind of keeps pressure off of me as far as like, oh, let me increase views, or let me, say salacious things, or, things that will grab the attention of, the algorithm. And I'm like, it's fine that they don't get a whole lot of views, because what I'm saying is just what I'm saying, and it takes the pressure off of me to perform to act and really just be a clear channel. So today, I know I say I'm going to do something a little bit different. I don't think it's really all that different, but I think today is where I've been trying to balance out this masculine and feminine energy that I have, and trying to speak on the healthy aspects of both versus speaking through the lens of toxic patriarchy or encouraging anything that would keep anyone in the mode of, your body produces your worth in a capitalist society. Your body is your body. It belongs to you. You have complete sovereignty over your body. So I wanted to kind of do something that honors all the energies. I'm going to talk about the body. I'm going to talk about all manner of the spiritual realms. I'm not going to hold back. So welcome if you're new here. And if you are a long-time supporter of mine, still welcome. I'm so glad you're here, and I love you so much, and I'm so grateful for you. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's see, I've got a couple of new decks here that I wanted to bring out, and I wanted to start with the body. I've got the body tarot. That is new to me, so I wanted to be sure that you all are aware of this, because when I pull this deck out, I'm also going to pull out the book to make sure I am considering all aspects of this deck. So let's bear with me. I'm going to cleanse the space here. I've already cleaned it with some smoke, but wanted to be sure that I did more cleaning as well. So let's go ahead and get started. This is the Body Tarot by Emma MacArthur. This one is a little bit different because it divides the pentacle. Well, it is corresponding to body parts, parts of the system that make up the body. And it also splits up, I think, the pentacles into 2 different decks. So it basically has 5 elements, which is pretty cool because, hey, this is Fifth Road Spirit, right? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut these. Cut these for the cause. And then I'm going to shuffle again and we'll ask Spirit. For a card. All right. Spirit, can you give us some guidance? Well, where are we going with this? 7 of Fire. There's a fight. Something connected with the heart. All right. Okay. Go ahead. What else? We've got the 6 of Wood. This is about freshness. Yes, we're fighting for something new. This is connected to, what is that, the liver and the gallbladder, I think. And the last card out is Star card, the small intestine, hope. Okay. All right, so we've got those cards out. At the bottom of the deck, we've got the 10 of Metal, which corresponds with the idea of being charmed. I'm going to put this over here. I think I've got some room. I think you all can see all that on the camera. Yes. Okay. I might make some more room here as we move along. But I want to check out, what does this mean? 7 of Fire. Okay. Fight, oppression, and injustice. Yes. So this, if we think about this, where this lives in our body, this fight, this feeling of oppression and this feeling of injustice. This is connected with the heart, and let's see. It looks like the small intestine here, but let's see. Sometimes you have a fight on your hands, a new boss making life difficult for you, a scary new political party about to wrestle power forcefully. Hello. Perhaps a bully at work. Our lives are varied and can be full of dramatic fights, both small and large scale. This card shows that you are willing to take a stand and show the courage of your convictions. While conflict isn't pleasant, it is sometimes necessary if we are to fight against injustice or cruelty. If you are sure that you are on the right side of a fight, this card is telling you to stand your ground. Yeah, stand your ground. Okay, so let's look at the 6 of Wood. 6 of Wood says, and this is connected with hold on, let me take a look. Let me take a look here. So I want to be sure I'm saying the right body part. Oh, darn it. Okay, let's see if I can go back to the beginning. Okay, so let's go back to fire. Yes, the heart and the small intestine. So this is where our heart is connected, and where the small intestine is down where we have like our sex organs. I think that's where we have them. Small intestine, yeah. And then let's see, wood is the liver and the gallbladder. Yes. Okay, so this freshness is connected to the liver and the gallbladder. Now the thing about the liver, I know for sure, is that the liver can regenerate itself. Like every time you drink alcohol or something like that, it like regenerates itself and rebuilds itself. The gallbladder is filters out like toxins, I believe. Yeah. Okay. I'm not a doctor though, so don't quote me on that. Let's see, 6 of wood. I was just there. Where was it? Where'd it go? Okay, 6 of wood. Okay. All right. So here we have an injustice, and we are fighting. We are fighting with our heart. with our small intestine, which means in order to build that fight, we have to know, is our heart on the right side of justice, and is it coming from a passionate place in that small intestine? Okay, the Six of Wood. Freshness, change, and seeking. A change of scenery will do you the world of good, even if it is just a mini break. You have started to feel a little isolated and perhaps even disconnected from your fellow human beings, so going to a place where you need to interact with new people and see new things will refresh your sense of the world and your place in it. If your partner or family are not willing to come along with you, take a leap of faith and go by yourself. You may find you speak to even more people if you are by yourself. Yeah. So even with this fight, it's time to look at, I feel, new ideas, new places, new, what's the word? New places. It says new places and new faces, but what is going to help you fight this fight is taking a break. Honestly, I don't think I talk about it a lot on this channel, but rest is where, I've been doing a lot of working out. I do a lot of working out. But the thing that people don't realize is the most important part of working out, when you're consistent with your workouts, rest is going to be part of that. So if you are fighting using your body, using your heart, you're going to have to rest those things. You're going to have to rest and allow for regeneration, allow for detoxification, so that you can approach whatever this is that you're fighting passionately with freshness. Okay, and now at the end here, this last card, not the end, but this last card kind of gives us an idea as to where you jump back in. And the Star card, I think, is just the best card to jump back in. This, yes, indeed, is the small intestine, and it reconnects us. While we started off this fight, I feel like the fight started off more in the heart than in the small intestine, but the fact that we're coming back in with the freshness, and we are definitely connected with the small intestine energy, that is where we have a renewed sense of hope. And I know, if you remember the, Barack Obama, when he was running, his first campaign was on hope. And I still have one of his posters, one of those posters where it was his face, and I think, what's the guy's name that did the artwork, but basically it was him and the words hope at the bottom. But I think this is where we start understanding, when I say we, as Americans, I know there's probably there are other nationalities that are watching this, but I think it serves the same when we take ourselves out of a big conflict or outside of an injustice and take our bodies somewhere safe that we can rejuvenate and get in touch with ourselves and reconnect and detox and just rebuild ourselves. We can come back to that same conflict with a new face, with a new self. I think when I've and I'll talk about this openly, as someone who has, as I'm in a woman's body, why wouldn't I talk about this? So when you are dealing with issues of hormones and things like that, a lot of times we lose track of the systems in our bodies. And what I see and what I've learned is that the health of my liver is so important to the processing of different hormones, the cleansing of certain systems in my body. And so I take supplements that support the health of my liver so that I can process, excess hormones, and make sure that my body is fresh. And that it's so funny too, because the liver itself, when damaged, it regenerates itself. And so it does the same for you, right? And that's what is happening here. The liver and the gallbladder are detoxing and taking away all the extras, so that you don't have to worry about it. And you can come forward here with this hope card, with the small intestine, you know, just ready to just process everything and even give you that drive and that energy. You have the ability to do this. So let's go ahead and read the small intestine before I talk about it. Okay, small intestine. The traditional tarot card it's connected to is the star. Keywords: hope, calm, clarity, and giving. Element connected is fire. The small intestine connects the stomach to the large intestine, and it absorbs nutrients and water from the food we eat so that it can be used by the body. The shifting of all that is good, and distributing is the energy of this card. This is abundance at last. After a period of fear and famine, finally the storm breaks and a most beautiful dawn appears on the horizon. You can practically smell the hope and potential in the air. Life is great, people are good, and there is nourishment to be had. You can see the path you need to take to meet your goals. This is the inspiration you were seeking, and it has not disappointed you. This is a great card for entrepreneurs beginning on a venture, as it indicates a positive boost. There may be practical steps to take and hard work ahead, but for now, look at those lush rolling green hills and enjoy the lush pastures. As the day turns to dusk, you will know that the star you can see in the night sky is a lodestar for your dreams and a true guide to better times ahead. So the fight here that you have been working through, and this, you know, while I'm really clearly connecting at this moment to what's happening in the United States, this could be for anything you might have been going through too. You have been in a fight. You have been in a fight against injustice, and a fight for your own spiritual needs, and a fight for your own health. You have been in a fight. And now you're at a point, because I look at this as like past, present, future, or ABC, kind of linear. But here in the Six of Wood, I see there has been a regeneration. There has been a detoxification. There has been a freshness. Maybe you traveled. Maybe you went somewhere and said, oh, finally, you know, you had a time of just relaxing and, you know, being able to just get your bearings around you. But what's coming up next again is the fire is coming again, but this time, instead of being at the behest or at the receiving end of this injustice, you are now doling out. Honestly, you are it's almost like you're realizing, I'm in charge here. I'm in charge of what is happening here. I have a vested interest and a vested stake in what's happening. And it's like you're, on one hand, you're being on the receiving end of a fight, but after you've detoxed and refreshed, you understand that you carry hope. You are on the receiving end of hope. The bottom of the deck here calls Charmed. And I'm going to read that. This is the 10 of Metal. This is connected with the lungs and what looks like the large intestine. Yes, it is connected with the large intestine. So let's go ahead and read the 10 of Metal. Okay, 10 of Metal, charmed, fortunate, and blessed. The completion card for this element is one that screams all good things. It is luck in its purest sense, and is the indication of a charmed life where things seem to fall in your lap. You may not recognize it if your idea of being charmed is all yachts and mansions, but if you've always found yourself in work and have a loving partner and good health, you've won all the cherries in the slot machine. Appreciate your good fortune so that it sticks around, and the yachts and mansions will follow. Interesting. That's wonderful. Yeah, I see a fight here, but I see this is a good fight, and you're fresh for it. And the thing is, it's interesting here because the star card to me talks in this kind of a receiving energy. So to me, there is this kind of a feminine aspect behind this fight because there's still this receive mode. And even here with the 10 of Metal, it says receive again. And so I feel as if there is going to be something in this regeneration where there is going to be a receiving of hope, a receiving of hope. Something is going to drastically change here in this freshness. Something is going to come forward that will flip everything over and put everything that we have fought against into the forefront and into the lead. We are going to be receiving that. I claim it. I speak life on it. Okay. Okay. So I kind of want to see what tarot we've got. So yeah, I'm going to pull out the Rider-Waite here. I've been wanting to use this all week. I just haven't had the chance. It's just been a busy week mostly. Look, we've got the Ace, not the Ace, we've got the High Priestess and the Eight of Wands just showing up right there. And to me, the High Priestess is again that divine feminine, and this Eight of Wands is just the energy just swooping in and saying, we got this. And this is Sagittarius energy too, by the way, with his Eight of Wands. And the High Priestess is the moon, represented by the moon. Well, it's represented by the moon in astrology. So I don't even know if I need to do anything. I just split the cards and the answer just showed up here with this High Priestess. This is the return of the divine feminine. Like, this is the absolute intervention by, there's also this idea that something that has been hidden is now coming to light. Something that has been hidden is now sending messages and taking action. And it's like, I have this, like, I was in this management class when I first, during one of my first management positions. And it was this leadership class, and there was this, you had to do one of these personality tests to see like what group you were in. And so apparently I turned up, because I thought I was going to be like, oh, you know, I'm just one of those chill people. But no, I was in this group that was like basically very confident and very like, get this done. And so that's shocked me and surprised me, because I'm typically the person that is like, you know, I thought of myself as the person that doesn't do that kind of stuff. The person that is just like, oh, you know, it is what it is. You know, we'll get it done or we'll not get it done. But then I realized, you know, I'm an oldest child in a family. You know, I have a couple of younger siblings, and there was a you know, there was a time where I had to step up and basically be the one in charge. And so they went around the room in this management class and they asked, you know, what is surprising you about your results? And I said, well, it does surprise me, but now that I think about it, you know, if I have been like, if I've been in a group and I've seen, you know, the structure fall, I've seen management start to fail, and I've seen the workers start to give up. And if they ask me to then take over and be in charge, I'm going to be really pissed that I have to do that job. I'm going to be really pissed that I have to do that. And then everyone around me is also going to be pissed, because we're going to rebuild. It might not be fun, but it's what the situation is honestly fucking calling for. When we have to rebuild something, you have to be understanding it is not an easy process. It's a hard process. It's a shit process, but it's a worthy process. If you want to rebuild something and rebuild it fresh, it's worth it. It's worth the work. Okay, so let's go ahead and see. Got the Ten of Swords in reverse, Two of Pentacles in reverse, and the Wheel of Fortune. Then at the bottom of the deck, we have the Temperance card upright. Okay. So, the fight and the Ten of Wands in reverse. This is feeling stuck. This is like, I mean, if we think about, again, kind of make that comparison as to what's happening in the U.S., with even what's happening in the world or down to in the spiritual life, this is feeling stuck. Like, what do I do spiritually? How do I get out of this? What do I do in the now? What can I do? And of course, you know, you think about what's the first thing I do when something traumatic happens, when some injustice is done to me. You know, what happens even to the body? The body wants to either, there's fight, flight, and fawn, right? Those are responses that the body will instinctually have. So here, it's either, there's no flight, there's fight, right? But there could also be fawn. And I got an interesting insight as to what fight could also do. And this is really the part, you know, I want to make sure that I say this properly. You know, there is a time when you know what is right, and you know the difference between right and wrong, and you know that, okay, I'm in this moment and I could reach out and literally just clock the person that is doing this thing, but that's wrong. But instead, maybe you go home and you eat a ton of ice cream, or maybe you do all sorts of things that harm you in order to not harm another person, right? You take that hit for yourself and you punish yourself and you fight yourself. That is also another form of fight in the, you know, that little trifecta of fight, flight, and fawn. You fight yourself. And that's not what is called for in this moment either. This is the time to really, really take accountability for the self, for your body. I mean, especially let's call it for what it is, as it is in the now. You know, we're fighting for our bodily sovereignty. We're fighting for our bodily, you know, autonomy in so many different ways, so many. But we also know the difference between what is right and what is wrong when it comes to, one, the individual, and then also the tribe, the group, right? And so when we're dealing at a local level or a regional level or, you know, a community level or even like a friendship group level or a national level or a global level, there is one thing that we can protect, which is our individual rights. And then there's another thing that we can manage as a group, which protects the health of the body of every individual in the group, which basically means to protect individual rights. I don't know, whatever. Hopefully you get that, what I'm saying. Okay. 6 of Wood, we've got freshness, the liver detoxification. This is where we find rest. Look at that. There's an imbalance here. And when the body discovers an imbalance, what is it that we do? What is it that we can do? There's an imbalance here about our resources. There's an imbalance. And so we need detoxification. We need freshness. We need to step back, lie down, and rest. Because guess what? These capitalist systems, and I'll say it, these capitalist systems are dependent on our bodies and us treating our bodies as if we are, as if our bodies have more worth than, as if our bodies have more worth to them than to us, right? To the system than to us. Okay, so freshness, liver detoxes, the gallbladder also removes toxins. There's an imbalance here, and it's saying we've got to rest. We've got to lie down. We've got to stop, trying to find balance. We've got to understand we are in an imbalance right now. Our bodies are in unbalanced. And when we are unbalanced, it's time to rest, right? Because we're stuck here, and we could fight outwardly or we could fight inwardly, or how about it, take a minute and just say, maybe I could just rest. Maybe I could just lie down. Maybe I could just go on a vacation. Maybe I could remove myself from my environment for maybe, a short trip, just go out of town for like a few days and just chill and refocus and refresh. Not isolate, but remove ourselves from the situation. Fight, flight, or fawn. And one of the things that we cannot do right now with the divine feminine showing up in this reading, because I feel there's a feminine energy here, the divine feminine energy. One of the things we cannot do is be in push mode or give mode or attack mode. We now have to give to ourselves. And when I say give to ourselves, we have to open up and receive detox, receive balance, receive regeneration. And this so connects with the ascent of Inanna again, and it's just like, wow, this is just nutty. Okay, so let's take a look at the Wheel of Fortune and the Hope card. And it's funny, both of the last cards in this reading end up with major arcana cards, and then at the bottom of the deck we have a major arcana card as well, the Temperance card. Now the Temperance card, to me, that's just about refocusing our emotional effort, refocusing our efforts on ourselves, maybe kind of tempering the flame a little bit, but here it's tempering the violence that we are receiving. It's tempering, the injustice that our bodies are being hit with, right? It really is taking back our power in such a loving way that we don't even recognize that there is that, oh wow, how are we, it's even at a spiritual level, it's like, oh my gosh, wow, I really am taking my power back on a spiritual level. I am not allowing this external stuff to attack me or act toward me in a way that is unjust, and I'm certainly not helping that system attack me unjustly either. I'm not going to help that system. I'm not going to fight myself. Okay, so the last card here with the Hope card, and again, the Hope card is this, it is the feminine, it's receiving hope. And the Wheel of Fortune, again, like I just said, it's taking our power back. It's taking our fortune back into our hands. It's rewriting history for ourselves. It's rewriting our present for ourselves. And there's so much balance going on here, and so much about taking the power away from the external and really pulling it into the self and resting in that power. This to me it still feels like a journey toward this Empress energy in the tarot that we've all been, when I say all the tarot readers on YouTube, it seems like a lot of them have been talking about this Empress energy, but this is true Empress energy. This is building in this sense, understanding I'm not going to fight myself. I'm not going to fawn to the systems that are, unjust against my body or oppressing my body. I'm not going to fight myself, but instead I'm going to go inside myself. There is some sense of flight here, but with the fire and the wood, I just, I kind of get the sense that this is less air energy, and definitely there's a lot of fire here. There's a lot of fire. Let's see. I want to look at the Wheel of Fortune. I want to see what that's connected to. I got my helper cards here. Wheel of Fortune, Jupiter. Look at that, Jupiter. Uncertainty, change, seeing the big picture, seeing fortune, changing fortune in health. Yeah, this is taking the body back. This is taking the body back. Let's see what Temperance is. Again, not ashamed to pull out my helper cards at all. Because if you're learning tarot, I mean, come on. You want to learn tarot. Learn tarot. Teach yourself tarot. Okay, so Temperance. Synthesis, drawing from both the irrational and the intuitive, and moderation in health matters. Yeah, there's a coming together here. Definitely a coming together. Let's see, what is my time looking like? All right, let's pull out, let's see what guidance we can get here. I want something really powerful for y'all. All right, we've got Magdalene Oracle. Lately, I've been using the Kali Oracle cards. What else do I have? Rumi. I mean, it's all about love, and I love love. Well, I love love. But there's got to be something else. Let's see. All right. Dream Oracle. Does that make sense here? No, I need something. All right, I'm going to try these two. I'm going to try Animal Spirit and Mystical Shaman Oracle. I'm feeling Animal Spirit because one of the things I want to make sure that I highlight is that the priority of the body of humans, you know, prioritizing the human body on Earth is just ridiculous. We are part of an entire ecosystem, you know. We're not the most important being on this earth. You know, there are animals that also exist with us. There are plants, there are mountains, there are insects. Every single one of them are just as much a part of this earth as we are. So I'm going to ask Spirit, look at that wisdom with the owl. What else, Spirit? That's it. Okay. So we've got the owl, and I'm going to pull out a Mystical Shaman card as well, and then we'll read both of those once we get the Mystical Shaman cards out. Okay. Spirit, can you give us a card from the Mystical Shaman Oracle deck? Something to give us guidance to go along with this reading. Something to do. Just give us some guidance. One card, please, Spirit. One card. One card, please, Spirit. One card. If I don't get a card, I'm just going to pull one. One card. Thank you. Well, one card. The Seer. I'll put the rest back. Okay. All right, let's see. So we got Mystical Shaman here, and also Animal Spirit Guidebook. So I'm going to read the owl card first. The owl is air element, which is, I think I wasn't really feeling a whole bunch of air here, but maybe this is the air element that we needed. Like, and I also see the owl as being like, you know, not just wisdom, but someone who can see in the dark. So, you know, this is the energy of being able to see in the dark, being able to see where we need to go under the cover of darkness. So even in our darkness, even in a space where we are like fight, flight, or fawn in an instinctual response, we have the wisdom to understand that we know how to move in this dark moment, in this moment of uncertainty. Okay, let's see. Owl, abundance, clairvoyant, treasures. The owl is a mysterious and otherworldly creature found in folklore from east to west. The white owl in this particular deck is the companion of the goddess Lakshmi and represents wealth, beauty, and good fortune. When the owl card appears, it's an omen that a boon or treasure is on its way, either in spiritual or material form. With owl wisdom on your side, you'll see and know exactly what to do with this boon and how it can further serve your dharma and bring abundance to the world. Trust that the wellspring of treasures is infinite. When this energy is in balance, you are generous, trusting, and secure, but when it's out of balance, there are money quarrels and scarcity. To bring into balance, make an offering. And again, the offering is not you. The offering is something that you know you have. Okay. So let's look at the seer in the Mystical Shaman Oracle Guidebook. Let's see. Just past it. Okay. The essence. The seer represents the capacity to reach beyond the obvious details of life into the hidden realms where information is available. Yeah, both of these were clairvoyant energies. It might be time to really start pulling at those psychic powers that you have, or at those intuitive powers that you have. You know, and you know that you know, and you know what to do with what you know. And I mean, I think so many of us, especially, you know, if you're like me and you're just like, well, I know I have these powers, and I've always been like, you know, just like reaching out to other people, trying to, you know, have them tell me what those powers are. And it's just like, you know what you know. All you have to do is invest in yourself and invest in what you need around you and around your body in order to make those things come forward, even healthy, in a healthy way. Connect, right? Okay, continue. This symbol represents psychic perception, intuition, and the capacity to know something without prior exposure. The seer knows truth, always seeks truth beyond all else, and sees reality as it truly is without judgment. The seer can read between lines and understand what is not being said. He represents the power of clarity and being able to recognize patterns. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Once you've been exposed to a pattern for a very extended amount of time, you understand that the pattern, you understand the outcomes of the pattern, right? And so you understand the outcomes of the pattern, even in whatever is going on in your life right now. You know what the pattern is, and you know what to do in the pattern. You know how to approach it. You know how to handle it, right? Like Olivia Pope in that show Scandal. Handle it. It's handled, right? Okay, the invitation, because this is upright. The seer invites you to trust your intuition and follow it as it leads you forward. And a lot of people say that the intuition is in the gut, is in the intestines. You know, that's where it comes from. And here, the seer card is right here on top of this intestine card, but also after this detox, this rest, this regeneration. It's time to invest in your intuition. The seer invites you, okay, I already read that. You may feel lost when it appears that your hunch is taking you in circles or even through a maze, but the hidden realms don't follow the rules of two-dimensional map. Trust your gut and allow your perception of your circumstances to widen, to include the nuances and subtle cues that you normally miss if you take things at face value. The seer has gifted you with his magic. You are exactly where you're supposed to be, and your vision is clear. Okay? All right, that is your reading. Self-care, what am I going to call this? Self-care reading, body reading, the body tarot reading, or yeah, I guess I'll say that. Yeah, self-care and the body tarot. Awesome. All right, well, that's your reading, self-care reading. I'll be back for your new moon in Cancer reading in a couple of days, and yeah, we'll go from there. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you soon. Bye.